Hey everyone, BJDJ here. Before I begin, first of all, don't ask me about my hair. It just happened one day when I was getting ready for the day. There, that's it. And second, I'd like to thank 55,000 of you out there for subscribing my channel, supporting it, and giving love to my channel. It means a lot to me. You made me deeply happy, really. And third is the reason I'm making this video is because I decided to look over all the videos in the past one by one and see whichever ones are, whether I try to think up to see if there are any of these videos that made me comfortable, if there are some that made me feel, like I'm in a good mood, or, in any sort of reason. That is up until when a little pin got into my brain, I poked it out, just an imaginary kind of thing. And then I decided to figure out which of the videos made me distressed. Now that doesn't mean I'm stressed out, literally. It means that I feel a little anxious, a little worried, all that kind of stuff about how much the movie is contained, how many views, how many likes and dislikes, and so on. Plus, I only just meant to make those random videos whenever I just am bored sometimes, but that is beside the point. What gives the third reason is because these are some of these videos that when I had to look it over and I was like, oh my god, did I really have to make it this far throughout all these 55,000 subscribers? And then, I just had to feel, I don't know if I felt so bad about how good or how bad, in either way, these videos are. So I just I didn't want to waste any time any further. So let's get on with it. This is BJDJ's top 10 most distressing videos. Number 10. Blood on the Dance Floor X Dangerous, the White Panda mashup, acoustic cover. I first of all was surprised to find out that before I made this up, no one on the entire planet has made an acoustic cover of Blood on the Dance Floor X Dangerous. So I decided to try at least to make it work. It's just that I'm not as good an impressionist on Michael Jackson. Neither. I'm only good with the dance moves. I mean, I wish I could have shown you something if I ever was in public or something, but I only do Michael Jackson moves some of the time whenever I go out somewhere, and just for fun. But anyway, the reason I thought it was my singing, it was in low quality and it sounded a little bit out of tune. And when it comes to those kinds of singing moments when you just felt like they're in low quality and out of tune, that is horrible, simply horrible. And but also because it's at the bottom of this list, it just doesn't matter. I guess that's just one of the reasons I get a little worried about it, is because I felt good about it on the other hand anyway. So I know I just still have to stick with, like all the rest of the videos in this countdown, I still have to let them stay. I just I wasn't so sure if how good I was with my singing. That was it. Number 9. Effing hail in Denver. Now this is one of my videos that I uploaded from my phone. And it happened right before I moved into this house. And last summer, that is 2019, and there was this hailstorm. It was so big, and I meant to get too wild with excitement, and then I moved to another subject that doesn't focus on the title of the video, which is introducing my roommate, BFF, and life coach to you guys. So that's how it was when it was like a personal kind of video. So that's like one of those things I just feel sometimes whenever I get on with hail. You know, if there was any hail, and there still can be, and every time you see hail, we all get too excited. It's like, whoa, look at that, those are big blocks, you know, or just like, whoa, did you hear that? It's all coming up on the roof, you know, all that kind of stuff. But that's why I just meant to put it that low of anxiety. I guess I don't have nothing to worry about anyway, so it really is just one of those videos that doesn't make any sense. And I hate to give this a spoiler alert, because one of these upcoming videos in this countdown is one of them like that. So yeah. Number 8. My April Fool's prank. Oh, where do I start? It all starts out when I was in college, and I was just about to get ready for a final rehearsal with an ensemble band that I used to be with. We used to, like, you know, play pop and rock together, and it was a belated April Fool's when I decided to give out some Bean Boozled jelly beans in a box that I carried with me. And I pretended that the April Fool's joke was that I meant to figure out if someone had lost that box and it was all given the jelly beans, and it had a little note on it saying, you know, it was given to the ACC music department. Maybe it was some sort of student or someone who knows the music department from that college. And in case you're wondering, those abbreviations are, you know, Arapahoe Community College. That's in the Littleton. Littleton. It's one of the small southern areas of Denver. So, but anyway, I just meant to do that because just to trick mostly the music teachers, and I thought I meant to give them as a gift. Nobody ever tried them, so I told them that they were Bean Boozled already after I said it was April Fool's. After I said April Fool's, and I told them they are all, you know, like Bean Boozled. But we didn't care. We just had to leave them on a little table that was next to the office, which is okay for only students to leave foods and drinks. But anyway, the reason I meant to put that down was because it's like the same thing as effing hail in Denver, because it's like one of those personal videos that I get when I sometimes feel uncomfortable, you know, in either way. Or sometimes it's like one of those personal videos that you want to upload to YouTube and share to people when you get, you get so insane, like, oh no, what am I gonna do? Yeah, but it's one of these okay videos for me. So that's how it goes. That's number 8. Number 7. A free delivery fee. Now, you may not have heard this or have seen it, but I tried to make a Vine, and it was an absolute failure. It was an absolute failure when I just looked up, and I meant to just look up this Vine. Actually look up something about a free delivery fee on a website once. And then I decided to make a Vine that has to do something like the way someone feels about getting a free delivery fee. And I edited the clip and went, what? From Grown Ups 2, when you hear this young kid who got splashed from Chris Rock's cup or bowl or something. Never mind. But yeah, but that's it's a failure, but I just am okay to see it again. It's another personal video, like numbers 9 and 8, and it's probably because I just only had to somehow, go through the process of just feeling the pressure that I get through that video. It was just a small one, only ending around 5 seconds. And just, it only takes a matter, just 5 seconds. I mean, that was it. And it also happened when, after I worked out, and I found out something about the delivery fee on a website. I think it was because at that time my mom and I were trying to do something together. A long story. It's private. Don't talk to me about it. So yeah, that's how it goes for the free delivery fee. That's the pick. Number 6. I'm so dizzy. Yet another personal video. Again. It's like based off of something that is just randomly popular, like a Vine or a TikTok video or anything like that. But I only meant to edit myself spinning, my whole body spinning, but instead I had to make a close-up of my head and then make the thing where I just do my own clips, like speed up my head a little faster and faster. I don't know if it sounds like a little confusing, but it would sound as if it's like if I meant to just like spin my head too fast, and it will pop up out of my neck like and die already. But that's it's meant to be that same old joke that is an old joke, based off something from when something goes around in a random time. You play dead or alive. You spin me right round like a record. And it's been that popular ever since, I guess. how much can I say about it? Even if you see things like YTPs or, you know, memes, or, and even if there are things that are just spinning around, like animals, people, or objects flying in a very funny way. I mean, going around in circles in a very funny way. That's how it is when you just hear dead or alive, and that's the same thing that I just meant to do with my head spinning. I meant to actually be dizzy, because I had just wasted my whole time uploading one single video, and I felt like sometimes I just try to control my body, and it worked. And here I am, still just being normal. So that's it. I'm not really dizzy. Number 5. Strangers vocal cover. That's the same Strangers that's by Scratch 2-1. Scratch 2-1. But yeah, you might have heard of that song. In case any of you are huge fans out there, I bet there are millions of you out there who are big fans of My Little Pony. And I meant to bring up a vocal cover that is sort of a cappella-ish, where I do the lead vocals and I added the default choir as a background software sound. That way I meant to do it a cappella, but I really adore the song so much. I just thought that the song is cute and a bit, you know, sad at the same time. Cute and sad at the same time, because it brought me into tears. So, I mean, think about a romantic loss. If you were someone in real life who just ever had to, if you were once childhood friends and you miss somebody like that, think about like how, if you were ever felt like you were strangers, that's a very intense moment when you realize you don't know if you ever are going to see them again or not. That's the experience that probably Scratch 2-1 would want to have. Anyway, the vocal cover. I was concerned because I have about almost 11,000 views by now, and as a matter of fact, there were times when I just try to look over my video again of that cover, an ad shows up, and I'm like, oh my god, is it getting that too popular? And then I started getting into a mental picture. But either way, I'm sure that was a success. So, it's a success, and not knowing that I never thought that I would get through with that vocal cover with Strangers. It's just only meant to be like something very distressed, you know, the way I am distressed about this video is just because of its popularity, how many likes and all, and the views. And I was astonished. I was concerned, but also astonished as well. So, yeah, that was somehow I feel like stranger to that vocal cover too. So that's the way it worked. Number 4. My interview with Creepy Bloom. This is one of these fan-made videos that are actually, it's not necessarily meant to be an interview. It's only a fan-made parody of, like, that is meant to sound like it's an interview with a fictional character. So what I did was something that was worth an accident when I meant to say that it is going to be the only interview that I'm going to just broadcast until further notice, and it was one of the worst mistakes that I ever meant to say, literally. That is the most distressing part for me, and along with that, there were a couple of questions that I felt about with Creepy Bloom. And after I asked those questions with Creepy Bloom online, well, I don't know if she was online or if she was like somewhere around the computer. Either way, but like, actually, there was no response, but I had to respond to myself about how stupid I was, just giving only 2 questions to Creepy Bloom. One was, how exactly would Apple Bloom feel if she played the Luna game and sing the creepy version of herself? And 2 is if well, it's the second thing is not really a question. It was a concluding part where I liked her cutie mark, and it was a shame that Flippy painted it on her. But Creepy Bloom, in her words, knows that it's okay. It's okay whenever she likes to have it on. So, needless to say, I guess it's an okay kind of thing that, when I meant to, like, give out an interview, when I try my very best to professionally say questions, I then get abstract, or my brain goes into a different level, and then poof, it's gone. And then, that because I'm not as much as good as making speeches very well, nor am I good at interviewing with people, or any, just anybody. The only thing I'm good about is that I'm just meant to be a fellow YouTuber. That was just all I had to care about. There's nothing to do with this video that only focuses on how I feel, really. But that is one of the videos that I am distressed about. So you have it there. Number 3. The top 10 Middle-earth monsters. Now, I'm sure some of you also don't know these 2 separate videos, where they're split from one video is from numbers 10 to 6, and the other is from numbers 5 to 1. But they are actually what I personally feel, how personally scared I am about those monsters from The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings trilogies. And I basically wanted to do that because I thought it's fun to try. It's only the narration that gets me worried. My narration is just worried, and plus is the length of the film. How much sense these videos make. Plus, the likes and the dislikes for now are in a tie, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it just has to do with subject. The only point is that I mean, the Middle Earth monsters, I mean, it's because I have been fascinated with Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit for most of my life. I mean, well, of course, before The Hobbit, I have been mostly fascinated with Lord of the Rings, and what else could I say about it, them being my absolute favorite films of all my life? Because it's got everything in it. So climactic, things that you could be scared about, things that you could be excited, happy, you could cry, it's got every single thing you could feel emotional about. So then that's another one of the reasons why I just thought about things that are monsters that are ranked from lame, very, very lame, to very, very scary. So, and also, some of the time I meant to do it in a very comical way. I can't tell you what number one is if you want to check it out, so just a little heads up. So, yeah, the top 10 Middle-earth monsters, if you've never seen them, check it out. I bet you could, I bet you hope you enjoy it, but just think about how I really feel about that videos, all these two videos. So, just saying. Number 2. All my happy tree friends and creepypasta reactions. And of course, they're my reactions to these videos that were created by KOKO0071. It's a fanfic following Flippy about his adventure with the creepypasta ponies. And man, I mean, before I gave the reaction videos for the first time, I had to make a reaction myself first before I had to show it to you guys and say how I felt about it. When I tried to tell you what my reactions were like, it's like when my reactions were just out of nowhere, or if my reactions were not so logical, or if it doesn't have any subtlety or anything like that, it's not probably that as much as okay with me with the dialogue that I used in these reactions. But either way, I'm sure that many thousands have seen the reactions to the HTF and creepypasta movies, you know. And I meant to personally do this because I know how hard it feels right now for KO0071, who is the creator, of course, of these videos. And I did have to and I really had to I just had to give a little pause. I had to just make up a little personal experience, actually, about how Smokey and Whiskers, when Flippy was sent to prison, he meets Smokey and Whiskers, but he does not give a look at them. And what I thought was, maybe when I'm just saying, in quote unquote, maybe when I don't think they sound right. Maybe they should have a higher tone. That was my idea. So I just a little bit increased the pitch of Smokey Whiskers step by step. And in fact, Smokey because it's just he was on his cigarette, I had to put him in 1.5x pitch. And Whiskers sounding like Alvin. So, you know, that's where it went. So, yeah, like, once again, my reactions all together combined. From Dreamy Rainbow Cupcakes in a Nutshell to Flutter Island Rainbow Factory, all of them were out of nowhere because of in my opinion, my illogical dialogue, my unsubtle sense. It's what I think. That's what I thought about how it happened. So, but you don't have to judge. I'm just saying this because you don't have to judge me about the way I really talk. I just try to communicate with what my mind says to me. I'm just saying this because whenever I try to focus on a video, I focus it with my mind, not my voice. And also because it's like one of these videos I had to focus on, especially when I just hear it with my ears, see it with my eyes, and focus it with my brain. And my voice sometimes doesn't work. That's my own self, I guess. It's a long story to talk about. I just don't want to get into like too many psychological explanations about what this is all about. But yeah, but if you really feel like that they're great, then I have to agree with you, because I know that they're all right. They're okay to just let them stay there, because with these videos, I just only meant to do this just to see what my reaction would feel with other people. So, and in some cases, it was more like, excuse me, I had to stick this up a bit. As a matter of fact, all these 10 videos is what I emotionally feel for other people when it comes to being so distressed. That's the same thing with HTF and creepypasta reactions. So if you like them, fine, because I only like them when I had to look them over and over and over again. I just was anxious about what I said to myself, and I get a little and I don't get the words right, so don't ask me. And my number one video that made me distressed is, before I tell you, I know that this is just like one of these like videos that sometimes if you feel like you're a gamer, you would get in a rage. You just wanted to break your own game console. Or if you're like recording music with a guitar, and if you mess up with your voice and you go, ah, you know, like, anyway, I'm just saying, before I tell you what number one is, I have to warn you. It is once again my personally distressing moment. I just had to put that up there because it's, as a matter of my own choice. It's my choice. It's my opinion, and it totally made me distressed so much. So, and that of course is Rainbow Dash's precious book, Sped Up. And I tried to tell people, how many times do I have to tell you guys? It's only sped up 2x speed. And there are so many people that don't get the whole thing. Like, why Rainbow Dash tries to get the book back, why the guy in the video, Storm XF3, the guy who created these videos and even used his own camera to take the book away from Rainbow Dash, which he used with his own animating tools. But that's the way it worked. It's just that he was the guy who originally put that all together, and I only sped it up. That was all that counted. I had nothing else to do with it. And that's another thing, is because I now have an overwhelmingly over 18 million views, and people think that I am the guy who stole the book, thinking that if I have something to do with Rainbow Dash, or if I really like, and if people are always asking me, what's going on, why are we this, why are you doing that, why don't you give back the book, why are you giving back the book, and of course there are a lot of emojis that are like your lol, you laugh very hard, or you're teary-eyed in the end. Now I'll admit it, but I'm just saying, now, to pinpoint this out, I'm not here to tell all this to you just to hurt your feelings. I'm not here to hurt your feelings. I'm only here to tell the truth. I'm only here to tell the truth because this is why I am very, very distressed about what Rainbow Dash's precious book only has to do. It is only made by a different man. And I had nothing to do with making Rainbow Dash's precious book, making it so popular by views, and especially with so many likes and dislikes. I mean, who would ever want to do that? Who would ever want to? I'm sure it's like one of those mistakes, probably, if you ever make up a YouTube video that first of all, when you have nothing to do with anything in the video, then it becomes so popular. That's what I don't understand. You just only did one thing. Whether it's like speeding up, inverting color, or adding sound effects, any other kinds of things like that. I like to edit and mix, and I like to But concerning the whole thing is that being a musician my whole life, that's what most people in reality think of who I am. I am not like what what most of you think that I am. I have nothing mostly to do with Rainbow Dash, nor My Little Pony, or combining live action footage with My Little Pony animation. I only have anything to do with being BJ DJ. That's it. I'm just BJ DJ. I'm simply that. But my real name, I can't say it because I only do that around with my family, friends, and coworkers. But if I did say that what my real name is on the about part on my channel, I don't care. Go ahead and take a look. But honestly though, oh Lord, what am I gonna do? See, this is what it's doing to me. See, honestly, I just actually nowadays still admit the fact about how much most of you really enjoy this sped up video, the sped up version of Rainbow Dash's Precious Book. If there are any of you that don't like it, I don't care. And if there are any of you that do like it, I don't care either. And especially for those of you who look at it, especially, excuse me, I'm sorry, I meant to hiccup. I only meant to publish it for no good reason. If you really wanted to tell me what you really think of Rainbow Dash's Precious Book, don't. Please don't. Because I had a very harsh time. While trying to do that. It just only took me a while. And these are a lot of these things in that video that made me very distressed. So much. And that's why I put it in the #1 spot. Well, that wraps up the countdown of BJDJ's top 10 videos that made me distressed. And, well, I hope you all stay safe and healthy. And, I'll look and see if there are any updates about what's going on with the COVID-19 as well. And, I'll just keep my hope and seeing what's going to happen soon. And, either way, in other words, this is BJDJ signing out, wishing you so much love and thanks. Signing out.